Welcome back, everyone, to the HNL Movement podcast. This one is going to be a very entertaining episode. I never dull conversation whenever I talk to this guest. And I would like to welcome a fellow athletic trainer, Jaucian, to the podcast. He's the athletic trainer
Hello.
at Midpack. Thanks so much for joining me, Joel.
Thank you for having me. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but
Me too, but we'll see where it
do
goes.
it.
Yes. So I don't even really know your full backstory. There was a lot of things. I think you saw me go through a master's program and been around seeing me grow through my career. And there's always been some fun conversations. But let's start first by, I don't know what the story is of how you became an athletic trainer. So let's talk a little bit about you growing up, and what was your interest? Always something in the field of athletics?
No. I just liked playing sports, but I initially wanted to be a nurse. A nurse, or not because I'm Filipino, but I had this big idea that I want to have. I'm not trying to stereotype. This is all real. Like, I want to have a care home empire. But then I saw what they actually did, and like, dude, those care home people, that it's hard. It's no joke. Yeah. You might make a lot of money, but your life is hard. Mm-hmm. And they deserve whatever they get. They provide so much care. Mm-hmm. So I was in college, just like, I don't think nursing is gonna do. I don't think I can do nursing. So all throughout my years at UH, I was a gym rat. I'd always be at lower campus, like playing all kinds of intramural sports.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't know how to play or run, like soccer. Nope. Have no clue, but still played volleyball, learned how to play volleyball, basketball. I didn't learn, I'm still terrible. I don't play anymore, but if I were to play, I'd still be terrible. But I enjoyed it because a lot of my friends that I met in college, they weren't super athletic, but they were always active and they were very inclusive. And no matter if you was junk or if you was good, you was on the same team. Like you would I'm on the same team with my classmate who was the stud in high school, and he don't care. But the offense is always just pass to him, which I was fine with too. Yeah. But along with playing so many sports came injury. So I sprained my ankle. I sprained my knee, but going through that still didn't make me go and look at what kind of professions there are.
Yeah.
Helping athletes. It's just I'm broken. But I had friends who were in the athletic training program at UH, and I didn't know what they did. All I knew is that we'd be in the same anatomy class, and they have UH sports medicine. I go, that's cool. That's cool. I never bothered to even ask them because I'm shy. I know, surprisingly, I am shy.
When you were growing up, did you always play sports, or was this something more you found in college that you started playing more sports?
I played baseball when I was young. I started at 10. Mm-hmm. But I played not willingly, but I was asked by my uncle who was short a person, and they asked my dad if I could come play. And he was like, yeah, bring them. So they needed me for the game. We get there, and I was playing for the Puhale Pirates, and we were playing KPT. And at that time, I had no idea what KPT was. Cohigo Park Terrace. Like right now, I'd be terrified. Maybe. But back then, kids. So you go over there, they're all dressed in black. I was like, wow, that team looks very intimidating. As a 10-year-old, I'm like, wow, they're intimidating. But for some reason, the game got canceled. Apparently, they were short too.
Yeah.
But we were all at the field. But what they didn't cancel, the game was canceled, but they didn't cancel the potluck. And I was amazed. I was like, whoa, all this food that I've never eaten in my entire life. I'm like, oh, what is this? This is delicious. Like manapua, barbecue ribs, all kind of food. I was like, wow, I like play sports. And that's how I got into sports. So I played 3 years of baseball. I tried to play basketball in grade school, but didn't make the team.
Mm-hmm.
I played football in high school.
Got it.
At Damien High School when it was back in '94 when it was still all boys. My first knee injury, I believe, came my senior year. I wasn't playing organized sports. I wasn't playing football. I was just, goofing around with friends playing pickup football at the park. And, I'm a fairly big guy, so I have small friends. So I figured they're all jumping on my back, like 3 of them. I'm like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Power through, and all of a sudden my knee gives. I'm like, oh, that didn't feel good. And like the whole week, like just fat. And I only went as far as the ER. I never took an MRI. They took x-rays at the ER, but they never got an MRI, never went to an orthopedic surgeon. And that's probably because, a lot of us, it's not just the kids, a lot of families, they just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. Like, I heard, the doctor said, go see a specialist in 2 weeks. But sometimes in 2 weeks, your injury doesn't feel as bad. So if you don't know better, or if you don't know enough, then you just leave it and just deal with it, right? But then you go, I would say 5-10 years later, you're like, oh my goodness, these are the steps I should have taken when I was hurt.
And we'll definitely talk about that, being both in the athletic training profession. But about how old were you when that first knee injury happened?
Oh, I was about 17.
Okay.
17. And maybe 3 years later, I went back to the doctor. Not back to the doctor. I had some knee pain and went to the ER and he took an x-ray and the doctor was like, dude, you have a lot of arthritis. I'm like, I can still walk.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, and the cycle, it went through the same cycle again. It would get better and then I would go back to playing sports. And this is way before I even was interested in sports medicine. I think I was in the beginning of sports medicine. And when I went to see the orthopedic surgeon, my orthopedic surgeon was like, I had arthroscopy to debride it. And with the camera, he's like, oh, did you see it? Your ACL's gone. So I was like, so are we going to do surgery? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay. He's like, because surprisingly, your arthritis is keeping it stable. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's crazy. I didn't even know all of that. So, when you were growing up, playing football and, you're still playing baseball and football up until that point that you got injured.
No. I wasn't playing. I was just playing rec sports by then. But even like with baseball, when I was 10, I would have patellar tendonitis pain. Yeah. But, you still, as a kid, you're like, oh, that's just stuff I have to deal with. This is the kind of stuff I have to push through and just go to practice. Like I cannot do the drills, but I have to try my best. Even though I look terrible doing them because my knees are sore.